to the what if thinking while you're in a trade. Well, you're supposed to be focusing on what's it telling me while I'm watching price action? Is it telling me that it wants to continue moving higher or moving lower? Everything that you're reading in terms of watching individual candlesticks, this is tape reading. It bumped the high here, filled in this entire gap right here. Right there. Okay. Then traded lower. Right now we're sitting at these lows. We would not want to see it trade above here. We want to see it break heavy down here. But what happens if it does take out that high? What happens if it stops out this position? No problem. If it shows a displacement lower again, I'll use another 15-second fair value gap to try to get a short on and aim for that 60-minute again. Now, I know which ones I want to trade on. Caleb doesn't know yet. You don't know yet. But doing these drills every single day, there should not be a day that goes by unless you're on vacation. And now you would annotate that as a partial. So, okay, underneath this low, you would type out in your chart and screenshot it and say, I would have a partial here. And then you would have whatever that partial, we'll just say that closing price is your partial. So you'd get out at 20,066 from an entry at 116.75. So again, you're beating the fuck out of the YouTubers, and all we're doing is a drill. That's how you remind yourself. You give yourself encouragement. You cheerlead yourself. This is better than so-and-so. I've been impressed by so-and-so's trading. And now I've done, now see how it's running here? Then you can do another partial. Why? Because it's starting to expand. It doesn't need to go down here yet. It could wait and do it later on. So you would do a partial in here. So you'd have a partial at, we'll say, 2041 and a half. So 20,041 and a half. But you only use one contract because you're trying to avoid feeding fear and avoid feeding greed. Isn't this fun? It's fun, isn't it? You like it because I'm pushing the buttons. But it should be fun for you because you're watching with a purpose. You're not just pushing a button with no understanding of what it is you're watching or studying. That's a waste of a demo. That's a waste of a demo by doing that. Now imagine if you did not say partial, where you did not annotate that you have taken partials off. While you're doing the drills, by annotating that, you're training yourself to do what? Look for opportunities to take partials. Look for opportunities to take partials. Look for opportunities to take something out of the trade. Take something out, fund the trade, remove some of the risk. Give yourself that cookie, that little reward, that little attaboy, that a girl pat on the back. In the beginning, you need a lot of that stuff because it's hard to wrestle. It's hard to get into a trade and submit yourself to an idea when you don't have any experience. That's why you want to watch me live stream. That's why you want to watch me push the button. That's why you enjoy watching my trades. You like watching that because you're living vicariously through my executions. But it's entirely something different when you're doing it over live data, when you have to submit yourself to it and you have to wait however long it takes. And every time we had an opportunity where I said when it gets below these lows, that's a partial. You want to record how much time it took from the point of your entry, what minute mark it was up here, and up here, where those entries were, and that's a partial right there. You take off one there, and then you want to see speed drive right into that 60-minute consequent incursion. That's what would be ideal here. But because you're taking partials, as price goes below the previous lows, every time it makes a low and retraces back, when it does that, you absolutely, if it trades off as a opportunity to go back below it one more time, even if it's one tick, you have to take a partial. You have to do that because you're not going to have the experience to, number one, sit through the trade in its entirety. You're going to be fearful. You're going to want to get out of it. It's going to cause you heart palpitations. And remember, you're only trading with one contract. But that one contract's going to feel like you're risking your entire mortgage, right? You're risking everything that makes who you are as a person financially. So when you see this stuff and you see it panning out and you're practicing a drill like this and it goes to where I'm teaching you, how
Not everybody cares about quality. Some people just want crap. If that's you, Bespoke Post is not for you. Every month, they fill your cart with suggestions from small brands based on your interests.
and they're still going to come out and tell you that I don't ever do it. Oh, you got lucky. Oh, this, that, and the other thing. It's okay. It's okay. Other people's opinion about you aren't going to change the facts about you as the trader. The same thing here. Now, because we went into that consequent encroachment of that discount wick, I would want to see it try to make an attempt to go below that and draw down into the relative equal lows. So let me see if I can get one more fair value gap in here before we can get down here. It could just very well, you know, reverse here or drive aggressively lower. At this point, if we were trading today, like if this was a trading day, I would be done for the morning session. If I was closing it out here, I would be done. And I would just look for this move as a moral victory and be like, yay. Truth be told, though, I wouldn't be out just here. But let's just say that was the position, and I either say I got stopped out and I've made as much as is shown here, I would more or less say, okay, I'm just going to watch the rest of it deliver. And I've done this in front of my students too. I lost track on how many uh, transactions we had so far. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we had 4 trades. Look at that. There's red. You don't ever see that. Look at that. Look at the difference between the green and the red. That's probably random. So watch that consequent encroachment of that wick. Okay, we went down below it. I like to see when price gets down below it and comes back up and uses it as a premium array. I like to see that. But that's not what we're studying here, so I can't execute on that. It's got to be a fair value gap. Every single day, you're going to be practicing, looking for liquidity, where the market will likely to draw to, where it will hopefully not go to, that we can frame a stop loss. And then you get into the exercise and you relax. You condition yourself by holding on to the position. I can't hear myself. I don't hear any of my audio coming through. Can you guys hear me? I'm asking on Twitter if you can hear me. Just give me a 5x5, please. Man, I hope that was picked up the whole time I was talking. Good grief. Can you hear me? Somebody, please. Thank you, Richard. Appreciate it. I'm not sure why I can't hear anything on my end. All right. As long as you can hear me, I'm not changing any settings over here. All right, so here we have another low. And when I have my notes, it may not give me a fair value gap. It may just plow into the relative equal lows now. All right, we'll go there and we'll look for a drive into that. So this is exercise number 6. We don't need to be right. It doesn't need to pan out. If it stops out, it's not a big deal. It's just you submitting to the idea that this is unfinished business down here. Okay, and it's 15-minute relative equal lows. We're in close proximity to it. We came up and we swiped this little short-term high in here, and we broke down. And if it trades lower, we are in a position where we could capitalize on that. If it stops out, no problem. I'll wait for it to break down again, and it gives me another fair value gap. If it gives me another fair value gap after being stopped out, if I get stopped out, okay, stopped out. Now I have to wait just simply, if it gets back below the low in here, of the rejection block, that candlestick's closing price. Any movement lower than that, it doesn't need to create the lower low here. We don't need to pierce that. Every single instance that a fair value gap forms, okay, every single one, which I missed this one here. I would have used this one with a stop loss right above here. So in fairness, for the exercise and the drill, I would already be filled in here on a short with a stop loss right above this high. But I wasn't able to execute on that fast enough because I'm talking. But what you're doing is you're looking for every instance of, and that would be a stop out, every instance of a fair value gap, and you're engaging every single one of them, with you aiming for a particular pool of liquidity or inefficiency, something that's given you some kind of directional bias. If it's directionally driven like today, it makes it pretty easy to trade on one side of the marketplace. But there's going to be days where you go in and you're practicing and it's this range bound. And that's actually the better times to be trading with your drills. Let me see if I can do something in here. We already filled that one. All right, let's see. Those look smooth, do they not? And there's a minor buy side liquidity pool here. So let's do this. And stop loss here, and we'll aim for, man, TradingView is lagging. Everybody must be doing paper trades. We're all fading you, ICT. That's good. All right, so this is the fair value gap, and we're just trying to go against the grain here. And add this to that, and this. Come on. Good grief. There we go. So all we're doing is aiming for this tiny little minor buy side liquidity pool right there. And if it goes there and really rejects and starts to sell off, that means that we could probably see that 15-minute relative equal lows get pounded, and maybe even go lower. How about that? But I feel like I've lost something today. Like I've always enjoyed having not done any executions in front of you live. I mean, I've done them before. You all know I've done it, but you've never seen me do this many of them in front of you. And I kind of feel like minor buy side liquidity. I feel like you're going to want me to do this a lot, and that's what I've been trying to avoid, because I don't want to do these types of things, because it's better for you to be in here doing it yourself. You're not going to learn anything by me doing it. The only thing it does is it creates codependence, and I've seen this in my own private mentorship students. Look at that. See that? Good old Phil. It's all right. Wait till you see what I do in the PM session, motherfucker. So there you go. It came down, wicked through, stopped, and then ran to the target. Now think about what that feels like right now. What does that feel like? If this was a live trade that you were trading in, would you be angry? Would you be mad? Would you be stop talking to me in the Telegram channel, or I will ban you? All right, so now we have this little gap right here. Look at this one here. See that one? All right, so we had buy side taken, and now, again, lagging. Useless TradingView. You're fucking useless today, okay? How's that for affiliate marketing? This is some lame ass shit. There you go. I'll show you this in a second. What the fuck? The stop's not even adjusting. I just dropped it and it still ain't populating. Unbelievable. Oh, thank you. I could have made fucking breakfast in the time it took that. So if we have the low here to this candlestick's high, you see that? What I'm doing here is showing you the difference between the high of this fair value gap here and here, and it's 50%. So my stop is at the highest point, because if this is an inversion fair value gap, it should never breach the halfway point. But for Caleb's abilities, he's not going to know that. He doesn't have enough experience seeing it. So by having it run up to just half of that gap here, and the gap looks like this. It's this one right here. And then take it off. Yeah. So what I'm saying is inside this little area, allow me to take the execution officer for a second. I'll put them back on in a moment. This is an inversion fair value gap, and it's already delivered to half of this wick. So that would be a partial. And then this low here would be a partial. This gap in here could be a partial. Consequent encroachment here could be a partial. The new low here, that would be obviously a partial. But entering on the inversion fair value gap, when it has a gap like this, you have to look at the midpoint or consequent encroachment of the gap above it. Because think about like model 2022, how if it has two fair value gaps inside of that price leg that displaces lower, it can always, you have to afford yourself the ability to weather some kind of a delivery into the higher fair value gap when you're going short, like this case here. So the stop would have to be above the midpoint. So to reduce some of the risk, we'll go right at the consequent encroachment, because we've already had enough movement lower. If it comes back and stops me out, it's no problem. It's one more transaction. But you're seeing, and now we're below here, so I'd like to see that one support price to the downside if it trades into it. It can wick through it a little bit, but I want to see it kind of roll out and attack these lows and get down into this imbalance there. So back inside the inversion fair value gap here. Remember, partial would have been at consequent encroachment. Every time we see a big large wick and we're in a trade and it trades down into it, consequent encroachment of a wick is always a potential candidate for a partial. And in the beginning, every single time you do that, like it would be here, you would be partialed out with something, one. And then if you get below this low here, that'd be another partial. Here's another. And all you're doing is just simply mapping out price, having fun while you're doing it. You're not trying to be critical of yourself. And that's not the right color though. All right. And I would like to see it get real heavy in here and try to displace below these two relative equal lows in here and back below that 60-minute discount consequent encroachment. most of the questions you guys ask, motherfucker. And you'd screenshot that as a partial. Motherfucker. Post another one, you're banned. I just fucking told you guys to stop. What the fuck? And another partial would have been inside this gap here. And then now the stop could roll to cover costs. We want to see speed. And if it goes below this one here, it goes below that low, we still have to deal with the consequent encroachment of this mid gap, or mid wick rather. Does any of this look familiar? Like, does it look like the things that you see me doing in my recorded videos? It's the same stuff. I'm just picking the better entries. But I'm showing you everything that you could consider and how you factor all that stuff in. And you're never going to learn how to do this until you get in here and you practice like this. Annotating, screenshotting, and doing it every single day. What the fuck? There you go. There's the speed we're looking for. That would be a partial, and we want to see it drive down into the take profit, which Trinity's done a really good job of fucking around with today. Let this be something for your tech team to be working on, folks, because you can see I'm live streaming this stuff, and it's not working well. My concepts are working well. I'm admittedly fucking raging right now because I've asked my private mentorship students to stop posting in the channels that I don't want to toggle off to do the little mute button. But I just had to go in there and raise hell. And I'm pissed off because they kept doing it. So the 15-minute relative equal lows are the top of that blue shaded area. And there's another example of I'll never trade live in front of you. There's the executions. And none of this was done with market replay. That's how you do it, Tito. That's how you do it. What the fuck? Listen, I am live streaming. My alerts in here are on. Every time you fucking post here, it's appearing in my live stream. If I see it again, I'm banning you. I've been very clear about it. Stop posting until the live stream's done, please. Now, understand that? The fuck? Okay, so you tell me, is this something that you think would be worthwhile for you to do with your demo account? Now, I'm not saying you're going to be able to be this good at reading it. You're not going to be that good at it in the beginning. Caleb's not going to be that good in the beginning. But you're never going to get to be able to acquire the skill set to say that you are good until you get in here and you experiment and you practice and you practice and you practice and you practice. You ask me, how do I know these things? How do I know this? First of all, you have to have a baseline foundation of what it is that you're going to be expecting in price action. You have to predict price, folks. That's the reality of this, okay? You have to predict price. We're not reacting to shit. I'm waiting for something that I'm waiting to see form. When it forms, I'm engaging it. I'm selling into it when it's going up. I'm not selling when it's going down. I'm not chasing price. I never fucking chase price. Twitter has a real big fucking bitter pill to swallow today, okay? They have a real big fucking pill to swallow. And I hope they fucking choke on it. Because this is an everyday instance, every single day instance where looking for the things that I teach and price gravitates to them. We wanted to see these 15-minute lows traded to yesterday. No problem. Not a problem at all. It delivered the next day, but there was trades taken in my students group, in the free students community. I mean, everybody was basically copying what I was outlining yesterday in the NASDAQ, and they were sharing it. And admittedly, that kind of pisses me off, because if you want to make your trades on that stuff and you make money off of it, keep it private. Don't tell me about it. Don't at me, okay? Because it gets in my head and screws me up. Like right now, I'm pissed off that my private mentorship group, one of them has, it's very simple. If I say stop posting in the channel, like, what the fuck are you in there doing that? I'm live streaming. I'm literally teaching right now. What are you in there conversing about? You should be watching, paying attention. You're in there fucking chit chatting. And the fucking alerts popping up. Dang, I'm fucking raging right now. I'm literally fucking fuming right now. I could spit fucking nails. All right, so I done lost count where we're at now. How many do I got to do to get to 10? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got 3 more to do. Let's see if I can lose this $3,100. All right, let's see here. We've wiped out the 15-minute relative equal lows. Let's do this. Let's do this. Go over to, let's go to a 15-minute chart real quick. All right, and yes, it's ugly. Let me take this stuff off for a second. So here's those relative equal lows. We traded down to that. That was what I was trading. We have this low, and let's examine that low, see if there's anything in here we can use. Are you having fun today? Isn't this fun? It's all fun. It's just drills, okay? It's exercise with a purpose. All right, so we have this inefficiency right there.
When you're 85 years old on your deathbed, you're not going to wish you had fewer crazy stories. So let me introduce you to the school game.
Okay, and we're inside that right now. So the next order of business would be rejection block. there. And then the actual low. And if you want extra credit, you can do the consequent encouragement of the wick there. So there's our next 3 key levels. And that would look like over here, these. Okay, and all I just did was wrote down on my notepad these individual levels and just shorthanded little notes as of what they are. Rejection block, 19,894.5. Consequent encouragement, 19,877.5. And 15-minute low, 19,860 even. Okay? And then we can go back and add all this bullshit back on here again. And just simply watch. We have the weekly buy side imbalance, sell side efficiency, consequent encouragement level down here at 19,883.25. We have a volume imbalance in there. That could have been used for a short exercise as well. This right here. There's the volume imbalance right here. So now let's practice with that in mind. Like we're going to use really, really low towards the low of the day, low probability, but unfinished business down here. We have weekly buy side imbalance, sell side efficiency, consequent encouragement. Stop loss. And then target right before we get into that level. Okay. It's not a fair value gap, but I'm just going to show you because I'm getting pissed off sitting here. And I want to get through the exercise number that I was supposed to go through 10. So now we're at 8. Now the volume imbalance being treated as something bullish. See that volume imbalance right there? I'm using what this market's giving me. It's not giving me a fair value gap yet, so. First presented fair value gap today was a banger. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Above consequent encouragement of the wick. Okay, that's 9. I got one more to go. We have a fair value gap here. Low. Let's see if we can try to make a run onto these relative equal highs. easiest way to get over your fear is to simply just get in here and press the button and just submit to whatever it's going to do. And over time, you'll get better at reading price. You'll get better at seeing the ones that you would really like to take a trade on. Everything improves with time. It's not going to feel comfortable doing it in the beginning. It's going to feel like, what am I actually doing here? But over time, you'll get to the point where it's just a matter of like a meditation. Like you just meditate doing executions, pushing the envelope of getting in, getting in, getting in, getting in, getting in, getting in, with no fear or expectation of the outcome. You're just looking at price gravitating towards a level that you think is going to be magnetized for price. It's going to draw to it. It doesn't mean you're right. It doesn't need to be right. It doesn't mean that you are a bad trader if you have more executions that get stopped out than winning executions, because it's an exercise. When you go to the gym, you work out, you go there for 2 weeks. Are you at the weight and the physique that you wanted to do or have at the time when you first started out to have the goal of wanting to exercise and improve your wellness and health? No, of course not. But by doing those things, you're going to do what? Move in the direction of getting to that goal. And you have to have some kind of structured approach. And going in and attacking pools of liquidity, going in using fair value gaps, every single one that pops up, engage in it. Just use it. Just get in there and pop it and just trade on it. And what will happen is you'll get better at doing it over and over and over again. And you build this affinity for what the market's doing at that given time. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. It may not make sense to some of you. It may sound like a bunch of bullshit, but the bottom line is there's nothing there. I'm not afraid of pushing the button in front of all you. Okay, I'm literally just reading every tiny little minor fluctuation without any kind of rhyme or reason, except for here's where it could draw to for stops, and here's the right now fair value gap, and the right now fair value gap is not always the right one, and that's what you get by doing this. You find out the ones that work because you've done enough of them. You've seen enough of it. Okay, so give me a second here. I think I did 10, didn't I? Did I do 10? One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There you go. 10 of them. The net result's $3,575. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 negative transactions inside of 10 transactions of drills, not highly selected trades, not high probability entries, not the ones I want to trade on, but I'm forcing myself to take as the market's moving around. If it creates a fair value gap, I want to see it draw to a particular pool of liquidity. That's what we watched today. That's all we watched today. Okay, that's all it is. And when you go into your demo account trading and you use it like this, it gives you now a baseline. Now you can't use today's as your experience because it was me doing what I was doing. Okay, I was making the decisions doing all this today, not you. So what I want you to do is go forward with this. And if you have the ability to do it today in the afternoon, try to do it where you're going to engage with a 15-second chart or 1-minute chart and take as many executions as you can. You want to use a 1-minute chart, as the highest time frame, because the 1-minute chart is going to give you lots of opportunities to practice. The 15-second chart will give you even more because there's a whole lot more price delivery, and there's lots of fair value gaps that form on this time frame. There's lots of little pools of liquidity, little short-term highs, little short-term lows, and whatnot. So it gives you a great deal of framework to practice in. It's a perfect little laboratory experiment, and it hopefully, if you use it this way as a coaching mechanism for yourself, like you can do your own measurement of progress by doing this every single day. Now, what time was my first execution? 9:30 something, right? No, over here. 9:51. Is that right? I think no. Here you go. All right, so 9:36. All right, I didn't do anything earlier than that. No, I did. Yeah, there we go. 9:26. 9:26, and then stopped out there, and then I used the first fair value gap of the morning, and then look where it was there to all the way down to the relative equal lows. That's how you take your framework in your exercise and say, okay, which one of all the trades I was in, which one was my best one, which one was my worst one, and which one was the closest one in line with what actually delivered the best in the parts of trading. And you can see that, it's pretty good, isn't it? It's random. But trading down to where I told you yesterday it would most likely reach for, and we're in that now. So next order of business is that weekly buy side balance, sell side inefficiencies, consequent encroachment. And that's volatility pinball. It means you're buying and selling using every fair value gap that forms on a 15-second or a 1-minute chart, and you're going to run with that to a old high or an old low. That's all you're doing, and you just practice doing that. I promise you, it will feel weird doing it. It'll feel like you're wasting time. It'll feel like you don't know what you're doing. Why do this? Why do this? When you start getting a baseline measurement of what it is that you're measuring, and I want you to think about me aiming for these relative equal highs and then trading up into the consequent encroachment of that wick right there. You see that? Look at that delivery. And then down into the low here. You're not going to find that in your Elliott wave shit. Okay? You're not going to find that. But just when you come to my videos and you watch my live streams or whatnot, or you read my Twitter posts, I have a great deal of fun, torquing up people that love to hate me. I'm convinced that not all of them really genuinely hate me. They like to get a rise out of me. And I don't mind. I like to reciprocate and give a little bit back to them. There's the consequent encroachment of the buy side balance, also inefficiency rather. And it's for sport. Okay, I'm not losing sleep over anything anybody says about me online, because I know what I know. I know I can trade. I know I've made millionaire students. I have profitable students all around the world. I have new students coming in learning right now with you, side by side, and they're learning right along with my son. So when you see, I guess it's like, what are you here for? Because if you're here just to poke fun, yeah, that's fine. I mean, I'm not going to block you because of that. But if you constantly take what I said out of context, I'm going to mute you because you're not being honest. You're not reporting back what really was going on. Like today, there's no doubting it. Now you've seen it. Okay, there's pushing of buttons. There's a net result at the end that even if you look at that, that's not my real result. My real result would be simply taking that first fair value gap entry and then adding more to it here, pyramiding there, and pyramiding into that. And I don't want to go so far as to say I'd be in this pyramiding that, but I would have been out in here. And all you gotta do is look at my trades and see that that's how I trade it. That's how I do it. And when people say, do it live, do it live, do it live, I know really what you want to see. You want to see it so that way you can copy me. That's really, really, really what you want. And I really, really love denying that because it's problematic for me. Okay. I can trade without any emotion when I know that I'm the only one in there. When I'm by myself and no one is aware of what I'm doing, I feel confident that I'm equipped to measure the risk and to incur that risk. If I'm wrong, I'm willing to be wrong. But I'm not willing as a mentor, as a teacher, to allow you to assume greater risk than you really should take on. And what does that mean? I'm certain that some of you probably did some of these things today with a live account or a funded account or a challenged combine, something to that effect. And I'm dreading going over to Twitter just for that. Not because of anybody else that might have something trolling to say, because I don't know what the fuck they're going to troll today, because it's pretty much obvious now. But I get nervous. Okay, I'm gonna be real honest with you. I get really, really nervous when I know other people are risking money on the things that I'm doing because I don't have that fear. I don't look at my transactions as I'm going to lose money. I'm going to hurt myself financially. I don't feel that. And when I see other people telling me that, thank you, ICT, you're the king, high five, and it's showing me their trade that this took, and I know that that was based on what I just said in a live stream, my stomach turns in a knot. Like that makes me emotional about what I'm going to do next. And I don't feel that otherwise. I'm like a psychotic killer. I'm zero of emotion. I have nothing. I'm blanked out in emotion. Like I don't have any feelings when I'm trading. I have zero feelings. But if I know I have students around the world that are potentially putting real money at risk behind that, now all of a sudden my mind moves from the process of watching these candles do what I want them to do to now, are they being smart enough to take the partial off here? Are they freaking out when this retracement's occurring right now when I'm not nervous about it? Think about how what it was booking price back here. I can take these off now. When price was trading here with the inversion fair value gap, and I was talking about how price can use the same effect that we seen and I taught the 2022 model, the one the kid just made $1 million with. I supposedly just watched one video. Dude, be honest, man. This higher fair value gap there, because it's there with this inversion fair value gap. Remember I was teaching yesterday about the inversion fair value gap. It's got to trade away from it and then come back up. And you want to see the body stay in the lower half, but it can wick to the upper half of it. Now, in this case, what is it doing? It's wicking outside of that orange box. Is that normal? In this instance, it is. Why? Because I called your attention to this fair value gap because it's a similar idea that having two fair value gaps stacked up on the distribution side of the curve here when it's going down, it can stab up into that. So your stop loss has to be making an allowance for the market to trade up into that. But how far can it trade up into it? It needs to stay below the upper half or the midpoint here. And you can see it does that. So there's no reason to fear, doing it wrong, because there's enough winning trades out there to fix all that stuff. And they repeat a lot. And you saw me do a lot of trades executions here today, and using a 15-second chart, I was buying and selling, and even forcing myself into situations where I knew it was low probability. But you're able to see me call it, why it should do what it should do when it's on side. That's the takeaway. I told you where I was going to go to yesterday. We traded to it today. I would be completely done with the morning session and I would close my charts. And that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to do that now. So I hope you learned something today. I hope you had fun doing it. I hope you've been inspired to practice with your demo account like this now. Don't be discouraged if you're not doing these type of setups. If you can't see these things in the beginning, that's a byproduct of you practicing and studying ongoing. That's what you get over time, Caleb. You're not going to get like this just the first few times that you start doing it, but still submit to it every day. And over time, how much time? Months. You'll see progress in a couple weeks, but you'll see notable progress in 2 to 3 months. By doing that as a natural progression of working towards refining your skill, being able to read price, using limit orders, always limit orders, always limit orders, always limit orders, not marketing in. Not marketing in. If you're using a market order, you're rushing, you're being impulsive, and you're probably being emotional. And the only time that is invited and allowed is when you're trying to hurry up, protect your money. If you feel like something's amiss, something's really wrong, it's easier just to close the trade and just be out of it. Just do that. Move to the sidelines and mark it out. Just get out. But entering a trade, you should never, ever, ever, even though you've seen a plethora of me entering my trades with a market order, because I'm using these hot buttons up here. Again, I have only been doing that to show you that it's not market replay. Okay? So clearly we saw executions today only on the basis of limit orders today. Only limit orders. And I'm going to leave it to you all as the community, okay? Do you see any value in having this as a exercise? Do you have any reasons why this would not be beneficial to someone that would be trying to learn how to do what I teach? Because you have to do stuff when I'm not talking. In between, when you're watching videos, what are you as the student in the making? What are you as the person trying to learn how to do this? What are you doing? What are you bringing to this journey? Because if it's just ICT talking to you and I'm entertaining you and hopefully communicating something that's useful to you and engaging your attention, if that's all there is to it, then you're never going to get good at this. You're never going to make money with it, and you're never going to be able to pass these account fund challenges you put forth in front of you. Because this is the stuff you have to do. This is all part of it. And if you don't recognize that, if you don't see it for what it is, then you're wasting your time. I'm not wasting your time. I'm not giving you stuff that doesn't work. I'm giving you stuff that absolutely works. And as much as you think it's too much to listen to and too much to go through, you look at all those videos over there on that YouTube channel. 500 plus videos, man, or whatever it is. I don't even know what the count is. But you don't have to watch all those videos. If you just start with the 2024 mentorship, I'm literally giving you a hand-holding session as best as I can over real-time price action, just like I was when I was doing mentorship. Nothing here is getting deleted. Nothing ever gets edited. The live stream goes up on the live stream section of the YouTube channel as is. Anything that I've said incorrectly, anything that I've done wrong or incorrect is still in there. That's exactly how it was for me on my paid mentorship. That's exactly how it was. I've never edited anything, absolutely nothing, to make myself look good. I don't need to. All I got to do is be myself and I look good. So you either find value in this and you come back tomorrow, or you go somewhere else. It's simple as that, okay? I have no problems doing executions. I have no problem teaching you how to do it. I have no problem showing you the history tab when it's beneficial for you. But I like to make sure that there's nothing in my mind that's distracting me. And in my mind, if I worked for TradingView and I had the ability to put something on my account and I could link it to some kind of trade copying service, I would absolutely fucking do it. And I don't care if it risked being fired, because if I could get a week out of it, fuck it, I'm doing it.
You did it. You built a successful business and made it look easy. But at US Bank, we remember.
Because I'm sure TradingView ain't paying the kind of money that someone doing 15 contracts in a funded account setting, because my stops are tight. Everybody else that uses those 15 contracts, they have no idea what the fuck they're doing. They're over leveraged. They have no idea what price is doing, and they're blowing out. That's why these guys that are influencers are always resetting. They're always fucking resetting because they do not know how to fucking trade. But they're in there influencing you. They're influencing you to do what? To buy more resets. I'm teaching you how to do no more resets. You just do one. You get your money, make real money with it, and go into a real brokerage account and trade with one contract and build up. When you have 1.5 times the full margin, then you add one contract. That's proper risk management. That's how you do it. That's how you really, really do it. And it's not about, but I can't make these 5-figure and 6-figure payouts. You're playing the lottery, man. That's not what trading is. Trading is about making consistent progress and income. Let time do the heavy lifting. You think that you getting in there trying to get these big windfall victories, that's the answer to your problem. And what you're going to do is you're going to create a new monster in you where nothing satisfies you except for that. And what happens when you can't do it consistently? You're going to blow up. Now contrast that with Cool Hand Luke. Comes out, says, I'm going to listen to ICT. A lot of people say a lot of shit about this man, but he just come out here today and proved it once more, live stream entries and exits and everything. And I believe he's been proving with his executions that they were legitimately done with the concepts that he's taught. And I used it again live today, even in a drill setting. And it still does better than most of your guys that you're watching on live stream. I'm telling you what the market's going to do. And when they're staring at the fucking chart, trying to figure out what the fuck it's doing, well, maybe it's going to go up to the VWAP. Maybe it's going to do this. Maybe it's going to do that. Well, let's see if it does this. Fuck that. I'm going to do what I want to do. It's going to do this. And if I'm wrong, no problem. It's giving me more intel. I'm going to do the opposite or sit still and wait for the next setup. I'm not reacting. I'm anticipating. I'm predicting the future. And you have to have that as a goal in mind. You have to discount all the other shit that people say that the market is random, because it's not, that you have to react to price. Okay. If you're reacting, you're always in second place at the best. That means the person in the front of the line, you're reacting to what they're doing because they're the winner. Second place is never winning. It's never, ever winning. It's never, ever winning. They only have the same perspective, and the view is the ass of the guy that's leading. That's the best you get to see. And you want to be the lead dog. You want to have the view in front of you. Everything's in front of you, wide open. Wherever you want to go in trading, that's what I'm giving you. I'm giving you that. You have all the freedom in the world to take whatever PD array. Like, I'm using just the fair value gap. Just the fair value gap. But if you go in here and you look at just order blocks, the same thing. You practice, you do your price action exercises and drills using volatility pinball. This means you're just going every time it creates it. You don't try to put the emphasis on this is the right one, this is the wrong one. Every time it happens that you think you see it in the chart, engage it. Engage it. Engage it. I missed a few of them in here because I'm trained to look for the right ones. So I have to go in there purposely and try to fuck it up a little bit, because if I go in here and just trade, then it doesn't serve the purpose of what I'm trying to show you here, is where you don't want to have to demand that you're right all the time. And when you have less experience than I have, and you just start, I'm reminding you, I'm giving you the permission as your teacher, as your mentor, that it's normal for you not to know what you're doing. And it's also normal for you to feel uncomfortable doing at all, any of this, because you don't know necessarily what it is you're doing. Doesn't matter. 10, 15, 20 executions every single day. Takes you about an hour, maybe an hour and a half at worst. But the time that you invest in doing this pays dividends that you can't even imagine, because it gives you the eye to see the ones that are the right ones. How do you recognize that, ICT? Because I fucking have seen them thousands and thousands and thousands of times within market delivery, within a present idea that I have for higher time frame, where I believe the market's going to trade to based on the economic calendar. All those are factors, but you can't get that answer that satisfies you in one post in a tweet or one sentence, because you're asking for something that can't be accomplished with something so small in its capacity or bandwidth. Like you're asking for something that needs a novel to justify why it's better to do it this way than what you're probably going to do if I give it to you in a short condensed version. Here's the short condensed version, and watch how you wreck yourself. Ready? High probability, successful, profitable trading is done by simply understanding where the market's going to go to next at the right time of the day. Knowing where a high probability retracement is likely, but not to go past, so you can use a stop loss to lock in that underlying risk. And know in advance where there's potential levels where you can take partials along the way, removing the necessity about being correct until you get to your terminus. That's it. I just told you everything that my concepts do. Now, that's a huge void to fill in. What do you mean by that, ICT? What the fuck's a partial? Where do you take a partial? Where do I put a stop loss at? Where do you frame a high probability trade? When is it high probability? Well, you first have to determine when it's low probability, and that's what we've been focusing on. That's how I opened up every new mentorship. Every single time a new group was brought in and I started a new year, I started with them looking at, here is high resistance liquidity profiles. This is problematic conditions. And it just seemed like to people that wanted to find any excuse, oh, this guy doesn't know how to trade. Let me get the fuck out of here. Give me my money back. Get the fuck out of here, clown. Get out of here. I guarantee you, those people that quit in 2016, the very first fucking group, some of them actually did come back in to 2018, 2019 group. Some of them actually did come back in. But the ones that quit and then never went back to try to get back into mentorship, I'm sure they studied the leak content. But I promise you they didn't do any well. They probably have either quit trading entirely or have lost money to the degree where it's probably warped them because they're chasing, give me money, give me trades right now. You're a fraud unless I see you making me money. Put me in trades or you're a fraud. And to those type of people, I have a very simple statement. Go fuck yourself. Because I don't owe that to you and nobody else does either. I didn't open up a signal service. I taught price action, how to read price. I can stand out here every single fucking day. I can do it in a courtroom. I can do it in front of the Supreme Court. I can do it on a fucking TV. I can do it under a fucking lie detector. I can do whatever the fuck you want me to do, okay? If you want me wearing fucking a different color jumpsuit, I'll do that too. I can fucking break dance and fucking do it. I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to forget how to do this. But what is astonishing is every single time I do it, you get amnesia, like it didn't fucking happen. Like you didn't see me do it today. Because you want me to get riled up and say, well, watch this. I'm going to prove it. I'm not doing that. I know what you are doing. I know exactly what you're doing. And I would want to do it too. I would want to get me all goaded up into thinking I got to come out here and prove myself every day. So that way you can copy me. And that's not going to happen. I have this economy. I teach you conceptually. I prove it with real-time examples. Okay? I proved it with real money in real accounts, not just in paper trading. When I'm teaching it, I have to do it in a paper trading account because the protection that it affords me, because I'm not acting or operating as a financial advisor, which is very, very important to me because I am not loving the idea of teaching you so much that I'm willing to open myself up to liability and pretending to be a financial professional that would tell you what to do with your money. I'm not like that at all. So I teach with a demo account. I teach with a paper trading account. And because this is all live real-time data, and you're all watching your own real-time data too, you know what I showed you today, and every time I live stream is absolutely 100% fucking factual and true. I am not afraid of anything. I'm not afraid of any market condition. I'm not surprised by anything. I'm not taken back by anything. I know what I'm looking for. And if it doesn't give it to me, that's okay. I will wait and I will take it later. It's simple. It's very, very simple. And that sounds like arrogance. That sounds narcissistic. But it's just confidence in knowing what I know. And my students that get really good at this, that's a byproduct of it. You're never going to tell them they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're going to laugh in your fucking face. And if you come at them, don't be upset when they break your heart and tell you you're full of shit. And they're going to be quick to say, you put yours up against mine. That's how you know they're one of mine. Because one of mine will walk a fucking mud hole in your ass. Simple. So hopefully, like I said, you had some information given to you today, something that was useful. This is Volatility Pinball. It's an exercise where you go in, whatever PD array, okay, whatever one that you like. Don't let me feel like I'm forcing the fair value gap on you like I'm doing my son. Like Caleb doesn't have a choice in the matter right now. Later on, once he proves he can do it consistently with the fair value gap, if he wants to start doing another PD array, have at it, son. But right now, you have to start somewhere. And starting somewhere is where everybody has to. You have to start somewhere. And it gives you a baseline experience. And then it's all up from there. It's all up from there. It's never, I'm getting less experience by doing more of the same thing. No, you're getting more experience. And by going out here and engaging the uncertainty of real-time price action, engaging the hard right edge, not knowing what the fuck's going on. Think about that. Think about that. John Q. Public is looking at this chart right now. Maybe not on the 15-second chart. But they're looking at that chart right now and they're thinking, what the actual fuck is this thing doing? Like, what is going on? Where is this thing going? I gotta know. Like, I'm down. I lost money. What the hell am I gonna do here? And here we walk this pony. In here, I told you it was going to likely go up to a level here, but not go past a certain one. It's going to treat these specific levels in a manner that is defined already in pre-live stream today's lectures. That means you are aware of the logic, and all I did was lean on the logic that I've already taught you, and I used it real time. Folks, listen, okay? When I was trading Forex, they said, show me your MyFX book. Fuck you. Watch my live executions and my commentary. Because you can't fake that. You can't fake that, okay? You cannot fake that shit. MyFX book, absolutely faked. You can fake that shit all day long. Anybody that trades the Forex market right now, honestly, if they have never had an interest in going into futures, that's a red flag for me. Because that means they got to come out of MT4. That means they got to come out of their white label fake broker, their shell company broker. That means that they're showing you something that's fucking artificial and fake. And they're making money through affiliates and course sales. Simple and straight and forward. That's the way it is, okay? And if you don't fucking like that and you're one of those guys, prove yourself different. Prove it differently. You don't owe me any evidence. I don't give two fucks what you do. I'm not impressed by any of them. But for the people that are looking to them and sucking them off publicly, oh, I love you, King. Oh my goodness, let me give you a happy ending. Like, what the fuck? Man up. What, these fucking guys, okay, do not deserve to be worshipped. I don't fucking need to be deserving of any of that shit. That's why I strike it down. Nobody, only God gets worshipped. Only God gets worshipped. And some of these clowns walk around here and they want you sucking them off publicly. They want to be lifted up on a pedestal. And they want to put a price tag on it. Here, worship me and pay me this much money so you can do it. And they're lying to you. They're fucking defrauding you. They're literally lying to you and saying, look at this, man. I turned $100 into $100,000. The bullshit you did. Bullshit you fucking did. Okay? You're a fucking liar. You are a liar. Okay? You're a fucking clown liar. All you fucking Forex clowns are fucking liars because you're staying in an MT4 world where you can fake it. Come out into a real broker setting. Come out where you can't manipulate the bullshit, where you got to use the same data everybody else does. And then turn your small accounts to 6 figures in a couple days. It ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. And unfortunately, there's a whole new round of suckers and dumbasses that come in this industry. And if I was a piece of shit like some of you think I am, that lie and say that I am, I have the highest seat right now. I have the highest retention and viewership on live streaming. I have the biggest following in terms of people watching just for futures and ongoing education. And I'm doing it for fucking free. And I'm telling people, stop emailing me. I'm not doing paid mentorship. Stop contacting me through Twitter and asking me for paid mentorship. Stop leaving comments on my YouTube channel. Can I get into your paid mentorship? My paid mentorship is on my YouTube channel. It's in the 2016-2017 playlist. That's all of my paid mentorship. Anybody that joined my paid mentorship after that got those lectures. That's it. So stop asking me, can you please take my money, ICT? Send your money to St. Jude. There you go. You want to spend your money so well? Send it there. That's a worthy charity. I support that charity. I'm 100% behind St. Jude. You don't need to send. I'm fucking loaded. I'm rich. I'm fucking rich. And the proof is I'm doing this for free. I don't have a panhandle out saying, please pay for my fucking Lamborghini. Please pay for my fucking McLaren. Please pay for my fucking vacations. Please pay for my this and pay for that. I pay for everything out of my own fucking pocket. If I want something, I'll look at these fucking charts and say, okay, I'm going to do this, and I'll make what I need to make. Done. Simple. Truth be told, I don't even need to do that anymore. I have enough. I just got to dip into what I have. I don't ever need to trade ever again. So who are you going to believe? Seriously, I'm saying this and I'm turning this fucking video off. Who are you really going to believe? The guy that's sitting out here saying, I don't want your money. You're never going to get another opportunity to send me money. I gave my stuff that I sold as education for free on the YouTube channel, and I'm teaching ongoing for free. I'm proving it in live streams. I'm literally pushing a button in front of you. I'm doing everything absolutely what everybody else is hiding and won't ever fucking do, and they're still selling courses. And they're selling my shit for more than 2 times that I sold it for. Who are you going to fucking believe? You don't think that they have a real vested interest in trying to make you doubt me? Because they have their sock puppet accounts pushing that narrative, that bullshit, because they don't want to lose more sales because I'm beating their ass. I'm literally squeezing their fucking nuts in a vice right now. They're squealing. They're hating fucking life right now. They're hating me. They fucking hate me even more today. And we're not done. Oh, we're not done. We are not done. But who are you going to believe? Seriously, who the fuck are you going to believe? There were some talkers that said they were going to join the Robbins Cup. Okay? Here's what happened. I went in the Robbins Cup and I told Joel Robbins, I said, listen, anybody and everybody that's going to come and contact you, you tell them exactly what my account's sitting at. And I sat there and I pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed, and I pushed that fucking account down to $900 fucking dollars. And I sat there and I waited and I fucking waited and I fucking waited. And not one of these fucking yahoos, no Vinny E. Minnie, because that's who I really fucking wanted. I really wanted Vinny to do that. I really wanted him to join. But circumstances panned out as they have. He's already been dealt with. It's done. It needs to lie. If he raises it up even more, you brought it on yourself. But that one never stepped. And I can understand why he never stepped. If he's smart, he'll shut his fucking mouth and let things lie. But if he stirs it up, I have every bit of the ammunition I can fucking do to make everything fucking painful. I never wanted to do that, Vinny. I never wanted to do that at all. But I told you, if you wanted to have a competition, let's have it in the Robbins. And I baited 2 other guys. 2 other guys. None of them made it that way. I could take that $900 and run it right back on up. But it's been bait. It's been bait the whole fucking time. The whole fucking time. And you're all here sitting there thinking, you're clowning me. I have fucking trolled and trolled and trolled and tried to get these guys to come out here, and they won't do it. Why? Because they have a mentorship. They have something they're selling. And the litmus test is this. Who the fuck are you going to believe? I'm out here proving my shit in the lens of everybody watching it live. Inviting them to come out into a setting where they have to prove themselves. Not just do sporadic once in a while live stream. Here, let me do something. I'll show you what I did today. Pre-recorded this, pre-recorded that. No. That doesn't work. I got very, very thick skin. Very thick skin. I have dragon scales, okay? There ain't a motherfucker worrying me. But I will go out there and rip my own image up just to drag these fuckers out here in the center and tear their throats out in public, in front of everyone. I went to great extremes to try to get these guys to do anything and everything in there to do something, and they won't. Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they? Why would they not want to do that? Because they stand to lose their meal ticket, their mentorships, their services, their bullshit. Okay? That's exactly what it is. Every single fucking trade that I put on in that Robbins Cup had nothing to do but anything except for me just pushing the button. Push. I did that shit on purpose. There's no logic like you're seeing here live. You're never seeing that. And I have waited and I waited and I waited and I waited. Not one motherfucker stepped. Not one. And I thought for sure, I told my wife, I said, he's in drawdown. They're gonna pounce on it. And that's exactly what I've been wanting. So now you know. You fucking know. You still have time. You still have time, you Jordans of the fucking trading. The master of fucking trading. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. You know what I'm starting with. You know what I'm starting with, and I'm still gonna beat your fucking ass. So let's fucking go. I'm not afraid, I'm not embarrassed, I'm not intimidated, I'm not anything but fucking ready. And if you don't think you got enough time, we can restart this fucking shit for the 2025. There you go. But I wanted to be pushed. I wanted to be fucking challenged. And the only way I could challenge myself is to put myself in such the lowest point. I could not come any lower than I am right now. I can come back from that. I can come back from that. You can't. You can't. But I fucking can. And I wanted to fucking rub it in your fucking face because that's just what an ICT would do. So there's your facts. There's your skinny on what's going on with the Robbins Cup. You don't believe me? Contact them. They'll tell you. All it was is push. No rhyme or reason. I just want to draw the account down because I knew Vinny E. Minnie was going to contact. I know his little blow boy, Curtis, would be calling and contacting. Hey, ICT is lying online saying he's winning the Robbins Cup. Could you verify that, please? Oh, certainly. Let me take a look. Yep. Here's where his account is. But none of those motherfuckers stepped. Not one of those motherfuckers stepped. Do I sound like I'm intimidated or scared? Do I sound like I'm embarrassed? Fuck no. Like I said, we can still do this year. We can still do it. Absolutely we can. Brent could move aside and let the man go through, and I could be at that number 1 spot. But I want someone to dance with. You guys promised me. You said you were going to fucking do it, and you didn't do it. Of all the years I've had people come forward, I thought for certain the M7 guy was going to do it. I was confident that he was going to do it. He didn't do it. Not my circus, not my monkeys. Come on, man. I got excited when you popped up, Eric, and you said it was a clerical error. I thought that was shit. Yeah, now I got somebody. Nope. I don't have anybody. And Dave teaches bullshit. Forget about it. That fucking guy's a fraud. Fucking clown. He would have done it if he could do it. Period. You need a full year? The invitation is again for 2025 if you want to do it. If you can roll what you got right now by the end of the year, I will use what I got. And you can verify it with Joe Robbins that not one motherfucking penny will be added to that account. Not one fucking penny will be added to it. And I'll still whip your ass.